Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the fifth episode of 360 TF Business Unplugged series. This initiative aims to unite industry leaders from various geographies and sectors to discuss significant topics of concern and importance. In this episode, we take a closer look at the fascinating topic of exploring Saudi Arabia's economic landscape and trade finance opportunities. We are honored to bring together two distinguished leaders, Mr. Vijay Soni, President IMA KSA and CFO of Saudi Glass, and Mr. Lokesh Paliwal, Global Head of Corporate Coverage at 360 TF. Join us as we navigate this fascinating landscape and gain valuable insights from our esteemed speakers. Mr. Pariwal is a seasoned professional with over 14 years of experience in banking and fintech. His expertise spans international trade and forex, capital account transactions, and trade digitization. He has managed and driven impressive portfolios, including handling a trade asset book size of over USD 400 million. His career has seen significant contributions at Kotak Mahindra and ICICI Bank, where he played pivotal roles in product management and business development when handling certain large global conglomerate groups, including well-known listed entities in India. Currently, as he heads the global corporate coverage team at 360 TF, Lokesh leverages his deep knowledge and innovative approach to address international trade-related requirements of global clients. A certified professional from IIBF with JAIIB, CAIIB, and CITF accreditations. Lokesh combines traditional banking expertise with cutting edge fintech solutions, empowering businesses across the globe in his current role. Without further ado, let's welcome our guest, Mr. Vijay Soni. Vijay currently serves as a CFO at Saudi Glass, a role in which he has demonstrated exceptional financial acumen and leadership. In addition to this position, he is the president of the IMA WPKSA chapter and the general secretary of the Saudi Indian Business Network SIBN in Jeddah, an esteemed organization operating under the patronage of the Council General of India. With a career marked by extensive expertise in bilateral trade, investment initiatives, and fundraising, Vijay is renowned for his exceptional business networking skills. He has successfully hosted numerous Indo-Saudi trade delegations and is actively involved in various CSR initiatives through his role at SIBN Jeddah. He is a chartered accountant from India, a CPA from Australia, and holds CMA CFM qualifications from the Institute of Management Accountants. His expertise spans financial advisory, business and management consulting, and tax advisory. Furthermore, Vijay is an international expert in mergers and acquisition, specializing in strategy, due diligence, valuation, and hostile takeovers. His academic journey is equally distinguished. Vijay earned his master's degree in commerce from JNB University in Jodhpur, Rajasthan, where he achieved rank holder status. He has also been trained in business valuation under the esteemed Professor Aswath Damodaran from IMAA and completed a certification course from ICAI. With these introductions complete, I would now like to invite our co-founder and chairman, CA Pankaj Pundra. Pankaj has been at the forefront of the trade finance world with over 2 decades of experience in the industry and has been leading 360 TF at various fronts like PAFT, ITFA, and ICC committees. So, Pankaj, you have been in UAE for good 20 years now, and you know Mr. Vijay very well. So, what's your take on corporates from the UAE and trade finance opportunities in the current scenario? Over to you, Pankaj.
Thanks, Akshita. Thank you, and congratulations on this fifth series of Business Unplugged today for our 360 TF clients and patrons. Welcome, Vijayji. It's great to have you here. Known to you for more than a decade, and yes, being a rankist and you've been leading the various associations in Saudi Arabia and being very useful for our friends from UAE and across the globe traveling to Saudi to guide them. So happy to have you here. I think we have common with us is Rajasthan, but interesting, Akshita, that yes, I think the relationship between UAE Saudi or India Saudi is at all its the peak. We remember, and lot of Indians came to know about Saudi and Saudi investments invested when, especially when PIF invested in Reliance Jio just when the COVID started. I'm sure we all remember that transaction, but of course there are a lot of the joint venture which is with Saudi Aramco with Indian Oil. SEBIC have invested in Bangalore, and of course we know from India we have Wipro, Tata, L&T in India. So there are a lot of cross border opportunity between India, Saudi, and UAE Saudi. We being now based in DIFC here, I think in every conversation or every meeting when we meet our banking friends and clients, Saudi is in discussion. So who could better than Vijayji Soni to come and share with us what sort of opportunities we there for our clients and our friends. So I welcome Vijayji to you, and I'm sure Lokesh have a lot to share with you, and we're going to hear from you that how we can align our strategy to grow our businesses in Saudi Arabia. So welcome you and all the best 360 TF team.
Thank you, Pankaj.
I'm sure everyone is waiting now to hear from Vijay and Lokesh. So over to you, Lokesh.
Thank you so much joining. Thank you so much, Vijayji, for joining us. So there is no discussion which is complete without discussion of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now we call it KSA. So I just wanted to understand from you that since last couple of years, Saudi has been the center point. Earlier, when we used to talk about Middle East, it was more or less centric towards UAE, and again, that is specific to Dubai. So, what is happening in Saudi Arabia? Can you take us through the economic landscape so that we do understand what is going on there and how much focus they are earning by way of investment or opportunities in KSA?
Thank you, Lokesh, giving a very good brief about Saudi. I will say I'm blessed that I have lived in this region for almost 2 decades, and I've seen a lot of changes happening across this region. I just want to quote one experience, when I came first time to Saudi. Uh, I came to an industry when there was no facilities as such, and a lot of what we were hearing, it's land of camels and all desert. That's scenario, if I compare today, is entirely different. We have faced certain industrial challenges in between, whereby, sometime we were approaching Australian client to come to Saudi and look at glass industries. What was the answer from him, He's telling, where is Saudi Arabia? Then we told, hang on, we have an office in Dubai. He said, yeah, I know Dubai.
Okay.
So we first bring him to Dubai, entertain him, and then bring to Saudi. So, wow, you have such wonderful facilities in Saudi. That was a time, I will say 15 years back only. Not, I'm talking a very old story. Today, I think all corners of world talks about Saudi Arabia. Let me give a little background, is a small presentation, why Saudi is budging. And a few figures will tell the story, then we can go for more chat session with you. I think that will be fine.
Yeah, perfectly fine. I think it will give a good background to set the tone of entire discussion of KSA. Please go ahead.
Okay. Here is the visionary. This gentleman, a young leader who took over charge, and we are seeing dramatic change in this country. The time when nobody was even could think of women's driving on road or women's without abaya. Today, if you go to come to Saudi, you will not realize any difference. In fact, if Dubai and Saudi, you will see minor differences. That's part of living style. That's, plays a major role if any foreign investor comes or any industry comes, they want to see how much openness is there.
Correct.
Apart from that, there are certain regions which will tell those facts. I just want to depict few of data. If you see this graph, it clearly shows, we all know that Saudi Arabia is famous for its oil reserves. That's the main source of income for them. But over of the year, they have seen that oil prices going up and down, and we have seen one point of time oil sold below negative value. It's first time in history. Everybody is surprised how it could be negative value for a product. But now it's stabilized back. But once there comes, the second challenge comes sustainability. How long this will be catering to the market. So Saudi say we want to remain leader in energy, whether it is fossil oil or something else. As oil market started picking up, they started getting revenue. So smartly, they started investing those money in different sectors of energy again. Now, if you see today, probably by 2030, you will see Saudi Arabia will be one of the largest solar energy producer. You are going to see their dream is they will become again largest hydro generated power, green energy, wind energy. So they're building up those capabilities. So say tomorrow, even if this oil reserves goes down, we have another supply source of supply. So they will be supplying whole corridor up to Europe. And we will be the main source of supply to energy to the world. So that stage they want to retain. Having said this, apart from energy, they say, we want to diversify our economy. So they started relaxing norms for private players and welcome to come to this land of opportunities. There are many abundant areas of opportunity which has still not been explored. You talk about gold reserves, you talk about aluminum, they have highest reserves of aluminum. You talk about lithium, they were talking about export, this will not export. We are going to put up battery plants, which is going to be again energy source for all EV industry. They're talking about putting up infrastructure and car manufacturing facility in Saudi Arabia, because Middle East, who is highestly consuming cars, you see this. So all those figures, apart from the industry development, they say industry alone cannot work. With industry, you require to facilitate. You also need to add consultancy services, supporting services, so that it becomes a robust market to grow. That can be easily seen from those figures. Continuously, you see this non-oil income is growing. Whereas if you look at oil revenue, slowly is coming down. In between, there are some up and downs. In 23, you see little bit downward is there, totally down because of oil. And oil basically, they basically cut down production from 10 billion to 9 something, 10% cut down was done last year, which they are proposing to come back to normal quota level. There are some stats. If you see this, I will not go through all those. These are all available in public domain, but few are very important to touch upon. That's why I just put it to this slide. You see CPI. Everybody is today talking about inflation, global inflation.
Correct.
Saudi is back to 2% or nearby inflation rate now. Except housing. I will not include housing because rentals has gone up almost 10%. A major reason is being a lot of projects are happening in Riyadh and Jeddah, which obviously creating demand which cannot be supplied in short term of time. It's a challenge, but at the same time, it's an opportunity for multi-mega billion projects, which are happening in market. Financing interest rates are in line with the US market, little spread because they have to maintain those rates. Otherwise, there are arbitrage and you will see another abnormality in financial market. Unemployment rate in Saudi Arabia historically low, around 7%, which is in line with their Vision 2030 target. Next point I just want to touch upon is population demography. If you look at that, majority of population lies in between bracket of 20 to 35 years age group. Youth has energy. and energy has to be channelized in proper way. You have to create sports, you have to create entertainment facilities, you have to create jobs. If you don't do all these things, you are going to have another social problems, which we have seen in other part of the world.
Correct.
These current government has, very well visualized in early stage itself. They say if we remain conservative economy like past, apart from economic growth, we are losing it. We are going to have another social issues. So that's why we are seeing today, they have opened up all the areas. We can see Shah Rukh Khan is coming here twice a year. All movies are here. All entertainment, what mega events are happening, which are happening in Saudi Arabia. So all these regions is moving away from oil-based economy to non-oil economy, and opening up all these sectors, I think, are centered mainly for the welfare of youth, what they have in this country. Apart from economic region, obviously everybody has economic regions. Let's look at demographic community, how remains in Saudi. We right now is, I think, few months old slide, which talks about 32 million, but right now talking about around 35 million is the population. Out of that, around 13 million is expat, and similar workforce in employment. I will say 13 to 14 million is total workforce. Out of that, I will say 25% is Saudi from that proportion. And if you see these expats, again, Indians are second largest community in this region. If you the distribution, if you look at distribution, is major distribution is happening in 3 regions. Yeah, Riyadh is the buzzing area. I
Correct.
just
The
put up my
mostly dense.
marker here.
Yeah.
And the target is to bring up this population to 15 million. How this city will accommodate 15 million people? Even as of today, they have huge traffic issues. They are working on a metro, and various projects are going on. So looking at that, you see, apart from that, multi-million projects are coming to tackle this traffic issue, as well as provide facility to incoming foreigners as well locals. If you go to eastern side of the map, is basically Dammam and Khobar, where you have oil-based industries. And if you come to the west side, where I live, basically is Jeddah. Jeddah is basically commercial hub of Saudi Arabia, where population is concentrated to commercial activities from Jeddah, but religious neighboring cities Makkah and Medina, where world's high during period of Hajj, world's highest traffic happens to this part of region. And that is also one of the reason for seasonal boost in economic activity in this area. This slide will be very, very much useful for, I feel, for all audience. How Saudi Arabia population is distributed, what kind of population mix is there, why this demand is generating, why these new trends are happening. Now, as I said, there are a lot of youths are there. Ladies is coming to workforce, so they want to spend money. They also seen world outside while visiting, so they want to have similar facilities and infrastructure here. Today, if you go to Jeddah, every day one of the coffee shop is opening, and you will find all are crowded, and all is standard. You will show to mid-level to top class coffee shops are there. That culture is booming. You see all kind of cars. When they started driving license to ladies, people were thinking there will be issues on roads, but there's no, it's become normality now. That's positive side. So these all factors are driving local demand.
Perfectly fine. I think it was a good brief on the introduction.
Let me take one more thing.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Few of projects, if you look at this, project wise graphical picture, it's talking about where what lying. NEOM, everybody has heard probably. And especially the project they call the Line, which is very famous. It's like a Hollywood building where you will be having this all state of art, no carbon emission, all environment friendly. It's fantastic concept. So let's say when it succeed, it will be one of the ajuba in world, I will say. But a lot of activities are happening, projects are going on. Apart from Line, there are ports developed, the recreation facilities are developed. So it's a whole city itself. Apart, other than NEOM, you have Red Sea project. In Red Sea project, you've seen this like they are developing Mauritius or Maldives, those type of islands. They are already live now. If you go to Jeddah, this Cornish side, huge development projects are going on. Yeah, I just want to add one more thing. I don't know, Pankaj, when did you visit Jeddah last? I'm not sure.
It's quite a while, but I have to visit very soon. Yeah.
Okay, if you're not visited for last 3 years, so if you come here, you will see what happened. 40% of Jeddah is empty now. Demolition. All old structures, all congested areas has been wiped out. Now that area is available for redevelopment. Planning has been already done. Probably the re-kick start will happen next year. As on even today, if somebody want to buy a concrete, premix are available here. The waiting period is more than a week. I have got few projects where people are saying we require to install this much capacity to cater upcoming demand. Right now, it's not came to the booming stage. It is going to come, obviously. Metro projects, they are expanding. They also have a rail network which they want to connect from Jeddah to all the way to Riyadh to Dammam and to UAE. But up to the Saudi border, already rail network has come from UAE. So that will be again helping to industries as well as people's movement.
Absolutely, the infrastructure.
Now, while looking at they also look at that, it's not only concentrated to one area, pockets, Jeddah, these three regions. What about other pockets of Saudi Arabia? So Jazan is again a very good area for energy-related products. Then you go to Ras Al Khair, you have another set of avenues available. Mining industry is not untapped. So that's why recently they announced 5 new special economic zones. So basically they want to invite more talent from outside, basically foreigners comes, so that you can ignite this growth engine. So this open welcome is there. A lot of tax incentive has been given. Tax breaks are there. Low cost financing is available. Land is almost given, almost free. Very limited lease periods are there. Relaxation in localization. The various facilities are given. These are the right now 5 special economic zones which are already active, and 30 billion Saudi Riyal already invested in those one. I think I will just one more thing I just want to put up that there is international pressure. When you're inviting a lot of foreign investors, they say, okay, how we are par with international standards? You are doing a lot of subsidy on your oil. When I came to Saudi, we used to buy at fuel oil at 5 halala per liter, which is against, I will say, 1 real, 5 halala means 20th time the international cost. It's very cheap, so people burn more fuel. So it's not good for environment. It's not healthy practice. Now it's rationalizing. You might have seen 1st January, they hike this much higher, 53% hike in diesel, 98% in fuel. And they say we are going to continue hike until we reach the international pricing level. So that means there is going to be a lot of challenges to industries. You are using a lot of fuel, but at the same time, it's opening up door for saving fuel, looking for alternate solutions. So it's consultants, it's solution providers, all are welcome. This land of opportunity. I already touched upon few of the projects. I think I just want to give this background is ultimately we are talking about let me open one of the remarks which I liked it. This one, yeah. This is from IMF. I was just reading through its June remark, a recent survey what they did from Saudi, and they're talking it's robust growing and going to continue grow. Main drivers are domestic demand is growing, non-oil growth is growing, inflation control, whatever I spoke, these all are supported by IMF remarks. So having said this, I think these are the key areas which are opening up doors in various segments. If one industry comes, once a construction sector comes, it brings along with multiple services. I think I tried to answer your first question, Lokesh. I will stop my presentation.
Yes, sir. Perfectly fine and very detailed answer to give us a background of landscape. I'm sure some of the audience have already made their mind that they should definitely visit these special economic zones from the business perspective and try to set up a unit there. So, building on this question, as you spoke about the vision of His Highness Crown Prince, it was announced in 2016. We are in 2024, so half journey is already completed. As I saw in one of your slide also that the non-oil revenue has gone up by 3 times from 166 billion to 481 billion in these 7 years of this vision document journey. So can you provide example of successful businesses established in these 7 years and what strategies or approaches contributed to this success? Specific 4 5 sectors for our business community, which you think are from non-oil background and they are definitely having demand in KSA in at least next couple of decades.
Okay. See, having said this, looking at the youth requirement and young population, apart from inviting foreign investors, they have opened up new doors in higher education. Even as of today, let's say expats, if they want to send their kids after school, college level, they have to go outside Saudi Arabia. Say, why so?
Correct.
Why not we have at least one of the top class university from world to Saudi, whereby government is ready to give all the support. Already you can see King Abdullah University is already established few years back, which is one of the best research center. But they're talking about higher education centers should come. They are providing support for schools in NEOM. I know one of the project whereby 500 schools building contract was awarded. It's not one school. These type of mega projects are happening in Saudi Arabia on education side. So they're looking for different kind of schools. Going to healthcare sector, you see the slowly government is putting reliance on private sector more and more. And there are talks that even the government hospitals will be covered under insurance scheme, even for locals.
Okay.
So you can see a huge requirement for medical insurance as well as medical facilities. Already hospitals are coming up. You are going to see King's Hospital we will be opening by end of this year in Jeddah. And similar chains are coming to Saudi. There is room for different type of hospitals, clinical laboratories, research centers, and various government support programs are available in this domain. Coming to entertainment, they have already opened up cinema, movie manufacturing. Even they are talking about, let's say, Saudi filmmaker, if you want to go to India, there are support package available up to 50% cost reimbursement.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful.
I'm telling this type of various packages are there. We have seen beautiful events were organized by this entertainment authority in past, whereby there are no tickets, basically promoting, creating the habit. But now they started tickets, charging already started. But ultimately, it has to be become sustainable business module, so that private parties also can get involved more and more. Cinemas are already there; it's reality.
Okay.
And I'm telling you are going to see even Bollywood will be coming here and shooting on this Cornish area, beautifully developed.
Okay.
Then coming to new areas, you just told, these are the, mushrooming areas where you're coming now. Digitization is another head which government is pushing very hard. I have visited last month Saudi startup event in Riyadh, whereby I can see at least 100 startups has put up their stalls. Small one, big one, all were there. I interacted with them, very small guy cannot afford even that cost of this exhibition, but they say that's already taken care by government. So this way they are supporting them. And there were some brilliant ideas. It's not there. And if you see this, the target is they want, oh, okay, let me talk about finance sector. There are some success stories available. If you see that first was STC. STC obviously is a telecom company. The government provided them sandbox facility, use your product, test it there. It's not only for STC, it's available for all companies in Saudi. And today they have a successful lending mobile wallet and getting very popular. Apart from that, if you talk about Tamara, is basically BNPL platform. You go to Hala, it's a digital wallet again. You have pay tabs. You have Gudia offers point of sale system, e-commerce payment gateways. So these are the famous one. Obviously, there are few more players in market, and there is room for further to come in. I have discussed few Indian players. They wanted to come in. I told you most welcome. You need not to do re-engineering basically. You already have a success story. Why don't you localize your product for this market?
Correct.
It's become easy entry for you. Even you don't require to redo things. This even if you look at tax, clear tax is already present now in Saudi. What they did? They have already their engine backend. They just localized it because there is growing need in this market. So they tap this opportunity. I see a lot of opportunity going forward. When you're seeing so many businesses are coming up in rapid speed, so you require even financing same way and different financing solutions. Everybody cannot approach bank. Banks has, of course, improved a lot from service quality compared to past, but still there is, uh, time gap of service which everybody cannot afford. And even if, let's say, somebody want a small pocket financing, they will say, what, I don't want to spend time for it. But here technology comes in and it helps a lot. Yes, sir.
So absolutely, we clearly identified that there are certain sectors, health, education, information technology, finance, fintech, everybody has enough scope to grow in the KSA in upcoming decades. But how do we manage disturbance which is happening on the west corner as well as northwest corner of the country? We are talking about in the indirect reference, if we are talking about two ongoing wars. How KSA is coping up this without disturbing or without having any any black spot in terms of investments? How they are managing this? Because this has been ongoing for last 2 years now, and prior to 2 years this was a COVID. So what has been journey in last 4 years? What is KSS planning to handle all these? Because investment is subject to stability. Sustainable development cannot survive unless we have certain policies to avoid this disturbance.
Okay, Lokesh, well noted this point. I have witnessed this journey of last 7 years in my industry itself, whereby, see, when government want to increase their revenue cycle from non-oil base. So first what they did, cut down the cost. They say a lot of foreigners are living, working foreigners, okay, but other than foreigners, there are families, they're using my infrastructure, they're paying nothing. So obviously we want to impose some expat fees, dependent fees. And there were some issues with Bin Laden, and so that construction sector little bit slowed down. Those things give a big jack to whole economy. I will say 90% of industries lost almost 50% of their revenue within a year. Then came a VAT, 2018. Then came sin tax, sugar tax, tobacco tax, 50% and 100%. They don't start with zero. They start straight.
Okay.
People were just settling little bit. COVID came in.
Yes.
COVID getting settled. Okay. Medical industry made a lot of money out of it.
Correct.
Then supply chain disturbances started globally, not only Saudi.
Yes, yes.
You might have seen how shortage of materials became a primary issue, shortage of containers, because during the COVID period, some of vessels and containers were pulled out of market, but there was no enough business. But suddenly it started that they didn't wanted to put it in market and jack up price and enjoy this premium. That's why you see shipping lines made 120 years highest profit after COVID with low volume. So some people say, sorry to say, but I say it's a mafia. But okay, that's the fact. Okay. Okay, that's okay. So what to do? Still you have to survive. Who will come back? Fittest will be winning the race. And the guy who say, okay, I want to work in same old method, same old pace what I used to work, that business will die. Exactly that happened. Our industry was the first who went to the big losses and suddenly came back to the good profitability. Now its came is Ukraine war. So whole Europe is bleeding.
Correct.
Then Red Sea issue came up. Again, these are all geopolitical issues which start disturbing not only Saudi. I think whole Middle East, this is the story.
Correct.
Somewhere else, one corner you have this issue or that issue. My point is, you cannot know what's going to happen tomorrow. But if you use technology, if you use advanced product development, you do a proper alignment of your strategy, there is big room for you. Even today, if I talk about a logistics industry, there are some advancement which I have seen other part of world. I'm not seeing it here. Let's talk about there couldn't be a company like Uber for shipping line, for containers, for trucks. There is ample opportunity. It's something not new. It's already happening elsewhere, but it's not there right now. I can see many vessels are going empty and others are there is shortage. So there is a need. Now here again, some people will face issue of financing. Okay, all of a sudden, if you go to let's say established bankers or SIDF to give financing, they will say, "Oh, it's a new idea. We don't know what it is." If it established, they know it easy. They will easily finance you. But there are some new players comes in. Okay, we know we have experience in this and we can bridge this gap. Here, your trade finance can come in picture, or maybe different products are available which can fill this gap for short term to mid term, and growth history opportunity faster moves with that pace. I think these are the I think challenges are always there. I feel challenge always creates opportunity, and it gives room for others players to come in. So if you are having a good mindset and open solution mindset, definitely you get a quick entry. So that's the advantage. Other way. So inefficient will go out, efficient will come in, and there is huge room still. I'm saying at least another 10 years, you will see this same growth story in this part of region.
Perfectly fine. So, as the proverb says that every challenge is opportunity for some other guy.
Sure.
As you touched upon on certain schemes or incentives which your government is giving, and
Yep.
I was going through certain documents, and recently the global MNC banks like ICBC, JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, all these banks have been given an entry in Saudi Arabian market. What are the government's foreign investment initiatives to attract these investments? You already spoke about land. That land is given almost free and there is hardly any such conditions. Can you throw some light on such some other initiatives also, so that
Okay.
fintech player like 360TF can come into the market and create a space to
Definitely.
cater trade finance demand there?
Definitely. Let me just first tell industries, because see, finance who requires? Mainly either consumer or business. If there is growth in consumer spending or if there is growth in industry, definitely there is room for trade finance. I put it other way. So to grow these industries, government has already created some modular industrial parks whereby plug and play system is available. So you need not to do anything. Just come, put up your industry, and for a certain period they say, okay, you take rent free. No issue. But there should be credible proposal for that. Otherwise, you pay rental, nominal rental, and start it. You go to leasing, there are rates from 0 to 5 real per square meter, which is nothing. Even today, energy is very cheap. $48 per megawatt hour for industries. Quite cheap. I don't think at this pricing anywhere else you will find it. Diesel, you talk about gas, natural gas. One of the project is coming to Jeddah is not connected with natural gas. Within next 2 years, you will see gas connectivity coming all 100 kilometer away already available. So there will be a lot of expanding for that from government side as well as any industry want to use it. Again, they have to do those preparation. That expenditure will be there. Now, specific to financing, traditional way, there are opportunities available with SIDF, which give for developing our industries. Almost 50 to 75% of your fund is cost given as a subsidized loans. Basically, don't charge interest, but there is some fees, cover of fees is charged, which approximately 2% per year is nothing. Go to Exim Bank is also the reality, which supports anybody's export-oriented unity, you take it. Banks are also subsidizing. If you are doing for housing, government is giving subvention of interest rates. Now coming to private players, if you want to participate, you bring some a good technology firm. PIF is always willing. I know at least 3 of startups in fintech industry, whereby they got 5 to 10 million dollars from Aramco as a seed capital, just with their presentation and their overseas success story. Once Aramco is there, lot of investor pumps in inside that. There are few venture capitalists also available. But I say, looking at this whole size of this economy, these players, private players, are not sufficient. There is ample room to add value to this ecosystem. Obviously, if you want to come to, let's say, fintech new company to Saudi, the regulations are still very tougher. So process of approval, yes, it takes time because they want to see that you don't create, blooming or riskier environment. But once you have done it, you have the smooth drive in this market. That's why you see this in past, whenever bank issues has happened, you have not heard any issue from Saudi banks so far.
Yes,
So
yes.
that guide goes to Sama.
Yes, Sama has been doing a brilliant since 2019, specifically if I talk about, because their growth journey, their licensing journey, the ease of doing business, which they are building along with the Capital Market Authority, which we call it CMA, I think it's brilliant. So what do you think, other than this infrastructure development and sustainable development, which we are talking about, they are trying to, slow down the oil business and increase their non-oil business, so that dependency on oil, which is not good for the earth, with the NEOM project we just spoke about. What do you think? What are the future trends for the second half of this vision document? As we said that it started in 2016, we are already in 24. What are the future trends and developments in Saudi Arabia's trade finance sector specifically the business should be aware of? Pricing is fine, but as you just touched upon the regulations, what are
I
clear
think,
do's and don'ts with
I think,
Kingdom of
see,
Saudi Arabia?
this private trade finance sector was a totally new domain for this market. If you talk about 2 or 3 years back, but today it's not new.
Okay.
But today, even today, there are very few players, not enough. So if you go to, let's say, corporates and you go to 10 corporates, probably out of 10, only one is knowing that, yeah, it's happening. That's the scenario. So from market point of view, I'm just telling awareness campaign is required. So entry little bit, I will say, difficult than compared to, if you compare to UAE, if you go to the corporate, I know all those things. That will not happen. So you have to explain from beginning what the project, how it is compliant, and it doesn't create risk for you, and reward, of course. Every business tells this is my reward to you. So that's it's easy to break, but people want to see your local entity rather than you are a foreigner. So you have to localize it. You have to have local face. Obviously, there is no issue. You have foreign collaboration and a mixed model is provided. So they know you have talent from all side of the world. On support side, yes, once you have a good story to tell to authorities, there are 0% financing, all support also possible from PIF and other sources. I have seen some of guys, they are putting a lot of money in market. Talk about, I just put some of the success story was Tamara. Tamara was giving zero financing for almost 2 years.
Okay.
Basically, they want to capture market. Now it's not by one individual. There are VCs who are supporting it. Apart from now, government is also getting involved. Okay, take money from us. We want this to happen. We want to facilitate consumer demand. So it's not only that fund is coming from that VC or the owners, even government support jointly coming together. Ultimately, you are benefiting society. I see the huge room and opportunity for trade finance activities. You go to, let's say, trade B2B. This was consumer. You go to B2B, there are a lot of imports happening. Even, I say, even today, if somebody is sending shipment to Saudi, I'm talking a small trader. He is suspectical whether he will pay my money. He don't want to give LC. People are doing, okay, we finance you up to your clearance of your good with a small kite. So it become win-win situation, both of them. But if he doesn't have, very big background in past and then going to bank for a small transaction, it become difficult. But a technology-oriented company can help it a lot because your cost of processing and time of processing is quite low. So you can have quick turnaround. So it helps. The government is supporting that idea.
So we had enough discussion to establish a new entity there. Let's discuss towards our business diaspora, that a lot of people on our call also interested in doing import and export business, because
Yep.
as we are reading in media that Saudi Arabia is trying to become a battery hub for EV segment. So what are the opportunities for exporters, let's say based in India or southern part of Asia, be it Vietnam, Malaysia, Bangladesh, or Middle East itself, and India? Because typically we have seen that the entire Middle East is more comfortable towards Europe in terms of import and export. So what are the commodities if an Indian exporter or Bangladeshi exporter wants to start their exports or consignments to Saudi Arabia? What are these commodities where you think that yes, there is a huge demand which is not, they are not able to still meet up with their local production, even though new entrants are coming? If you can throw some light on import and export segment of Saudi Arabia, it will be helpful for a few of our audience if they want to explore Saudi Arabia as their market or supplier.
Okay, let me take up few of sectors which we in past hosted delegations. Food sector is one of the area which government also want that you have sustainability and food security in Saudi Arabia. In fact, let's say one want to play a big role and you want to bring commodities here and store it here so that it can be supplied eventually. So if you want to storing here, you can join with some local hands, and there are, almost zero subsidized loan facilities are possible for that purpose. Even if you say, let's say first, what maximum we are eating is wheat flour or rice,
Correct.
heavily subsidized.
Okay.
That's why I see in wholesale it is sold for 1 real kg. You probably in India also not sold at that price. Eventually, I see once it becomes sustainable model, maybe you will see the lower subsidies. But yeah, right now, this is opportunity available. Rice, there are a few players, they have already purchased a lot of farms in India and they buy ships or ships. It's not a small quantity.
Yes.
Talk about food ingredients. I know a few of industries. Let's say you see this hot chili sauce. Have you used anytime?
Yes, yes, green chili sauce.
Green as well as red.
Yes, absolutely.
In market, any brand you buy it,
Okay.
50% of the chili sauce in Middle East is made in India. Apart from, of course, mango always comes from India. There are many fruits comes from India. Best quality I'm talking about. Yeah, of course, other sources are there. So this food, direct imports are there. I know a couple of guys buying fruits, vegetables, grains, uh, in ingredients. Even curry is also producing from India and bringing to here. So those segments are already available for Indians. Coming to chemicals, there are, I know a few players regularly buy it, but this logistic creates in between hurdles. We used to take a container for $500 from India to Saudi. Today is talking about $3,000.
Absolutely.
That's a disturbance. These are temporary, but okay, whatever it is. But temporary disturbance also tells country that even if you have issues, keep your diversified portfolio. Don't depend on one source.
Absolutely.
So this is a challenge, but opportunity other way is if some chemicals are available, better option in the US and Europe market, people will still prefer to take some buy from India. Although everybody buys pro import from China, but they have preference. I have seen many Saudi, they say if these things available in India, we will prefer to buy from India than China. Even if it is slightly costlier, no issue.
Perfectly fine. So I think other than FMCG sector, other sectors are also open for business people or business diaspora in India and the southern part of Asia. Now, we have seen and we have read a lot about SIBN network in Jeddah. You have been active member of that fraternity. And recently we came to know that over 3,000 companies have recently registered in Saudi to start their business, whether it is an existing arm of a large conglomerate or a new company setup. So how this SIBN network of Indian diaspora is helping Indian community to build business in Saudi Arabia?
Okay. See, basically, SIBN is a commercial arm working under patronage of Council General of India, Jeddah.
Okay.
This was a brainchild, this there is no government department always works. They have their own protocols, and that's why it requires certain time gap to revert back. It's talking past now they improved, but it's still one a voluntary body or non-profit organization way works. They cannot work that way. So this organization was created, and I was one of the founding member. I'm with this organization for almost last 7 or 8 years. I have played major different roles in this organization, and in between I took rest for some time. And from this year, I have been again given charge to take care of this as a general secretary. In this during tenure, we have hosted multiple delegation, either taking from India to Saudi or Saudi to India, various sectors. So what we do is basically, if somebody is going from India to here to India, we support, connect them to organization which could be helpful for them, and we gather those kind of point. And if you're coming to Saudi, if they're connecting us, definitely we say you do this, you don't do this, and you require any kind of support on connecting to business community or chambers, that is done through support of consulate. This way basically is connecting nodal agency, but it's not a money run organization, so you require limited support, not to full extent, but yes, it helps a lot to the people. So that's all.
So one final last question from my side, as I am leading a young team here. Based on your experience, what advice would you give to businesses as well as individuals expand their operations in Saudi Arabia, and they are those who are looking forward to build their career in Middle East or especially Saudi Arabia? What typical three advices for youngsters if they want to grow individually as well as a business person in Middle East and specifically Saudi Arabia?
I will just tell only one thing, before I talk about this, almost 1,000 chartered accountants are working in Saudi at various good positions in different corporates. I keep getting calls from other than CAs that we want a job there. So now, if let's talk from job point of view, apart from chartered account, even other professionals, they will be talking about same issue that I want to make my fortune going there. My advice is just skill up to a certain degree that you become market absorbable for Saudi Arabia. So do little homework and gain some extra skill set where you can say I'm different than normal service provider in that aspect. Let's talk about accountant. Simple. Accounts, I know this, how to do data entry, how to do finalization of accounts and all those things stuff. But if you say, yeah, I know in Saudi Arabia, this type of softwares are being used, this type of compliances are required, and I know little bit Arabic. Just one example. Or maybe he can say, I have a skill set whereby this type of financial analysis are normally not done, but I have already done in past. You have to polish yourself. That's all. You are easily absorbable. We were talking about laborers are coming to construction sector. They are paid very low salaries. We discussed with one institution in India that why don't you train them for 6 months? Give experience of their interest area, plumbing, electricity connection, only 6 month training. You know what is salary there will be happen? It will be doubled. And we were surprised to know that Indian government has a program. Now you have a lot of talks on skill up, but I'm talking about few years back. That time also program was there. And that program worked and many people has benefited that way. So that happened to workers. Same thing applies to profession. Now coming to business, I get a lot of query that I want to sell my rice. I want to sell this different type of pulses. I told how you are different than others. Let's say one guy comes, okay, don't worry. You have issue of credit. You need not to worry. You pay me when you receive your material. Although he doesn't have money. He can use facility from trade financier, whereby he can invest maybe 10% of his cost. Then it's become easy because buyer also suspectable whether he's going to send me the correct quantity, correct quality first time he's dealing with you. Once you establish your relation, then a smooth journey. Go to textile. We have seen many cases where people will say we burnt fingers and we are not recovering our money. Because you don't know, same way, somebody pays advance in India, he's telling I didn't get my material.
Correct.
What can I do? So these are, I don't know, I don't say this is the majority issue, but even if it is a small issue happens, negative talks spread very fast.
Absolutely.
So we have to curtail it, and the curtailing is you see what your customer or your buyer is looking for it, how I can add little value, I become more flexible. Of course, I secure myself. There is ample opportunity.
Perfectly fine. So over to you, Akshita, now in case we have questions from our audience. Let's take these questions one by one, and you can read those questions so that Vijayji can answer that online itself.
Thank you to insightful speakers for sharing their expertise and wisdom with us. I would now like to invite our CEO and co-founder, Mr. Vikram Lodha. Vikram has over 20 years of experience in banking, including roles at Citibank and Kotak Mahindra Bank in India. Over to you, Vikram, for a few words before we conclude today's session.
Thank you, Akshita. Vijayji, thanks a lot for joining us and the insights that you've shared with us with respect to the various businesses that you spoke about as far as Saudi Arabia is concerned is really insightful, and I'm sure our audiences have gained a deep understanding of the market, and there will be questions that will come to us, and we will, please accept this as a request. We will keep bouncing it off to you for your advice and guidance. And to our audience, I can tell that just prior in the pre-session, before we started, Vijay kind of offered that we should come to Jeddah, and we seek any support as a business community. We can always reach out to him and seek help and guidance. So thanks for that as well, Vijay. We will be in touch, and we will keep sharing with you all the progress that we make in the region. Thanks once again for joining on behalf of the entire 360 TF family and all our audience. Thank
I
you.
will just say one thing, that thank you
Please.
you. And this is a very friendly place. Any of your audience, including other than you, has any question or they want ease of doing business or relationship with Saudi, you are always most welcome. Feel it is a second home.
This is really heartwarming, and thanks for this. I'm sure our people, our participants are going to carry it with them. So look forward, Vijayji. Thanks a lot for your time and wisdom that you've shared with all of us as a team. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
So
much.
now let's dive into the questions asked by our audience. So the first one is, how can we materialize the huge opportunity of being a merchant trader in exports from India?
What commodity you want to export? Otherwise, I answered, he has to do some value addition. If he requires some, let's say, support, okay, I want market intelligence or this, I have this product, we can connect it to some of the reasonable guys who are in this particular field and they can support them. We will make sure that he is not misguided, that we can come in picture.
Okay, thank you. So next question is, how can we look for good serious importers? Is there any way by government directory for such thing or something like this?
Sorry, which item? CS.
Serious importers.
Oh,
Serious
serious.
Serious
Serious.
importers.
There are directly available importers on government website. Apart from that, we can also share, they give this, market participants are there. And best way is, they should participate. There are food festivals are there, food exhibitions are there. Even if they are not participating, let's say as an exhibitor in those food seminars, they can come as a visitor. And same time we can arrange their visit to the wholesale markets where all traders are there who are importing it. So it's an open opportunity for them.
So
So the
this
next,
is fantastic. I'll just add on to this, Akshita, to the person who has asked this question. As as a business framework, we also do this. As you all know, that we only support exporters, importers across the world, not just for trade finance, but to help them develop the entire trade finance ecosystem. So we also work on connecting people to potential buyers and suppliers. Feel free to write to us. We can always connect you to Vijayji and others in various other geographies.
Yeah, obviously you have a
Thank
lot
you.
of financing customers, so that creates a helpful
Correct.
tool.
Yeah.
so the next question is, with a focus on developing specific cities like Riyadh and Jeddah for projects like NEOM, do you think other cities have started suffering from lack of funds, thus impacting business there?
Uh, mm, it's a, see this funding what has been allocated to NEOM was assigned as per budgetary allocation. And yeah, you may say the focus of doing additional development to those cities, yeah, it always who can pull it more. If you look at Riyadh exponentially grown, and there were some complaints from some of people in Jeddah why not looking at Jeddah, but that's now it is stages. And next year you are going to see this focus is equally given opportunities to these regions.
So the next one is, can you please share some
One more
insights on
thing I
this?
want to add
Yeah,
for
sure.
health audience benefit is Jeddah is going to become a food hub That's the policy decision, which is not official information, but it has been decided because it's become a hub easy for imports. So anything related to food, definitely priority will be Jeddah. Whereas anything related to ITS services or this digital transformation, yes, hub will be obviously Riyadh.
Thank you. So the next question is, can you please share some insights on the startup ecosystem in KSA and what are the steps taken by government to encourage the same?
There is startup forum already created by government, which even if somebody want guidance, they provide, whether your project is workable, or they can reach out to MISA. MISA has a specific division for startups. And once the project is found to be viable, they also have a support program for them. You see, today they're talking about they want to invite 100 fintech companies in Saudi Arabia. I don't think 100 fintech companies market is there, but they say we see this much ample of opportunity. Government is telling we are ready to support 100.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you for answering it all. Thank you, everyone who, yes.
Premium residency also available. It's opened up. Like they are following, I will say, certain things path of UAE.
This is interesting again. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Stay tuned as we unfold the next topic for our next session.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, Vijayji. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hope to see you soon.